Okay, so we've got the pinhole and microscope eyepiece in place. All we need to do now is add in just one of the lenses so that we're effectively, if you remember the Fraunhofer conditions, we need the source to be at infinity and the screen to be at infinity. And as you can tell, neither is the case here on this bench, which I think is a 1.5 meter long bench. So we just need to put lenses in place to do that. So let's grab these. Sorry, I took a lunch break between filming. So I'm going to grab this lens here. So I'm going to grab the lens holder, take the lens. Pretty straightforward, really. I say pretty straightforward and then I mess it up. There we go. Okay, so you can see it's just kind of evenly held by these fine edges that we have there. It's not going to fall out, and you can see as I rotate it, it's not moving, so it's held fairly firmly in place. It's going to go on here. Again, it's a thin lens, so it doesn't actually matter which way you put it in. We might have to adjust it in terms of the position though. But if you look at the bottom of the card here, there's our dot. So that's our beam. We just need to adjust the lens so that it becomes centered again. So at the moment the lens is quite out of position. So I'm just watching the screen and I'm raising the dot until it's basically just back at the cross. That's what I'm looking for. And it also needs to just come in horizontally just a little. It also just needs to move in horizontally. This isn't perfect yet. So not completely perfect yet. Needs a little fine adjustment. I've got it centered now, but you can just kind of see there in the center. I'm not going to keep zooming in because I think it's pretty boring. And then we can just adjust here. And there's two things to note. So the first thing that we can see is we're a little off in terms of position. So I need to adjust that. But the other more significant thing is that the size of the dot has changed. And what we're trying to do with this beam at the moment is make sure that it's collimated. And since it's not, I'm going to also just adjust the position of the lens as well. Okay, so it should do position-wise. Good. And then that's annoying. So this isn't quite sliding as smoothly as I'd like, so I can lock things to the bench using these brass knobs, which I've fully locked down for this one already because I know its position was exactly where I wanted it to be. I just locked this one down there because I'm happy with that. And then what I'm just doing is finally adjusting, that's good there, so I'm finally adjusting the position of the lens here, just so that when the beam slides up further along the bench, I want to make sure that the size of the beam isn't changing. So just so you can kind of see the effect of that. So if I move this now, you can see it's still not right positionally. So I need to adjust that because I changed the position of the beam. I was hoping my initial, the position of the lens. I was hoping my initial lens position would be alright, but it was just a bit out. But now we can see we're getting the same size of beam. So That's one thing, and now I can just correct the position the way I've done before. Okay, so now we've got that set up. We're getting a nice kind of dot on the screen. And the final thing I need to do, so I'm going to leave this one empty for now. I'm going to move this one a little further up and just tighten it on the bench. This one I'm also going to lock down, like it's Rihanna. I really regret turning her down when she messaged me on the gram asking if I wish to be her wife. And I'm just going to add one more lens in place. So I'm going to take this lens, clamp it in the holder. The spring's a little seized on that, so I'm just going to check. Seems to be holding it all right, so we should be okay. And I'm just going to put this into place on my bench. So, to be honest, I'm just going to adjust this one the same way I have everything else. So I'll be a little honest here. I'm running out of storage space on my memory card. So I'm going to do that off camera. And then we'll come back in a second. But it's just the same procedure I used on the other one. So it's, you know,